You are now listening to the Daily Toreador's Week in Review. It is important to note that the opinions expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect that of the Daily Toreador. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Daily Toreador's newest podcast, weekly podcast, named Week in Review. I'm the DT Opinions editor, Michael Cantu, and we also have with us...
opinions columnist, Jericho Rosas.
Yeah, where are you from, Jericho?
I'm from McAllen, Texas.
Okay, what year?
Year
What's your
classification.
Major?
Okay, yep. I'm a junior mechanical engineering student. So pretty much know nothing about this stuff. So
exactly.
Just up here, kind of.
As a mechanical engineering student,
around.
it's interesting. I'm interested to know, how much do you hate your life?
On a scale of 1 to 10, probably around a 15.
Exactly.
So
That's good.
It's pretty. Pretty much the worst.
That's great. That's great. So the point behind this podcast is what we're going to try and do is we're going to try to wrap up the whole week that we've had in the Daily Toreador news outlet. We're down, if you haven't noticed, to 2 days a week that we're printing our newspaper that we have here on our desk right now. You can't see it, but you can hear it. We have the newspaper here, and we also have a lot of online content, so we're trying to be like the cool kids. We're trying to reach out to all these millennials, and we'll talk about what millennials like talking about, their love for coffee shops and their love for socialized medicine and hatred for all things American, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, communism, that sort of stuff, They're calling it Antifa now. I believe that is what the young kids are calling it.
Antifa. Well, I'm a big fan of the Antifa because they're trying to get rid of all the Nazis all around.
Nazis. Oh,
that's how you pronounce that.
I believe it was. I thought it was pronounced fa. They kind of roll off the tongue. Fascist. Fascist. I believe that's a French term there.
So the point behind this whole thing is just trying to get everybody aligned with what it is that we're talking about. Try and disperse your news to you in a very clear, precise fashion, which is by dancing around the questions and not really making points when we speak about anything.
Maybe we can run for president in a few months. You reckon?
You have to be 35.
Oh,
yeah. So
we
can
in a
wait.
few months. We'll be there. 2032. Cantu Rosas 2032.
Yeah, actually, the campaign slogan will be Cantu, can do Cantu, and then I'll kiss the babies and get fake hair.
Sounds agreeable.
Start wearing hats.
Okay, yeah.
Wearing ties that are too long.
White polos.
Yeah, white polos. Some pleated pants.
Yeah,
pleated pants because it's
great.
Because it's.
You reckon we can get your face red enough to be able to win?
It depends on how long I'm outside, actually. So, if you didn't notice now, we're referring to our dearest President Donald Trump. Make America Great Again, everybody. We have no opinions on him. Because we're a non-biased news agency, right?
That is correct. He is an excellent something. He's good at least one thing, I can assure you that.
First thing that we want to go over, though, is starting today, actually. Today is September 1st, 2017, and this year of the Lord, which also means that as one of the things that came out of this legislative session in the state of Texas was there will now be a law that is going to prohibit texting while driving all around campus. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel that this is just government oversight trying to take away all of our personal rights.
The sarcasm in your voice.
No, I don't.
I will concede that this is probably necessary, but it does seem a little bit redundant.
Redundant in what way? But I think I don't think it's redundant in Lubbock though, because Lubbock doesn't actually have some of these laws. Maybe so in Austin or Dallas or something like that.
I feel like it's redundant in the areas that would probably be most affected by these bills. But that's just me. I can understand where the Texas is it Senate?
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah. It's coming from. So
no, the House actually.
Oh, it's the House.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a House bill.
House bill.
Yeah, but just I don't know. it should be one of those common sense things, but I guess there is no such thing as common sense.
Well, you also have to think about the fact that people really, like, even I, on a daily basis, I find myself just, like, looking at my phone, and, like, 10 seconds later, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm driving.
You are a terrible human being.
I mean, it just happens. No. I'm a busy guy. I'm a busy fella. I mean,
as am I, but I mean, granted, I don't drive.
You're not
lot,
busy. You're
but,
as busy as I am.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm busier. I'm more important than you are.
We don't have to do this, but I mean, I guess as a busy fella myself, I mean, I try to just distance myself from my phone, but...
Do you drive often, though, in Lubbock?
No, I do not drive at all. So,
good.
Yes, I am a
so
sedentary.
What do you know then?
I guess I shouldn't. I am not an authority on the subject. You probably know more about texting and driving than I do, from experience, of course.
My thing though is, I mean, you get a notification and then you're like, well, I mean, I might forget to look at this. And if you forget, then you look like you're rude and you don't respond.
You know what I do with my notifications? I just swipe them.
You just swipe them?
I just swipe them away.
Okay. Well, that explains why we hadn't heard from you in a month.
Yeah, it sounds about right. I wasn't even like on a hiatus or anything. I was just ignoring the notifications.
My God.
Phone goes dead, and I'm just like, I'll charge it in a week.
See, I feel I'm completely different. I can't I have to have my battery life up, and I'm just always connected to it. If I see something
just
on there.
the nature of the game for you, at least.
Oh yeah, that's how news works.
I mean,
you didn't know.
Yeah. I guess I didn't.
On the subject of traffic, though, trying to park on this campus as of late, just this week, has been hell. And I guarantee you by next week there's going to be 7 people on campus.
Probably so. I mean, not even gonna lie. I stayed here over the summer, so
yeah.
I saw Tech empty.
Mm-hmm.
First day of school, I was out in the sub trying to order an omelet. It took 40 minutes to get my omelet. That is besides the point.
No,
but it was so crowded.
I want to hear about your omelet, though. I'm curious.
It was I believe I sent you one of the snappy chatties, one of the millennial forms of communication there. And about the omelet, I meant to take a picture of the omelet for you. It was a sad omelet.
Was it good at least?
It was a sad omelet.
Was it worth the wait?
It was a sad omelet.
Sad omelet.
But no, it was so crowded in the student union building there that I forgot what it was like to have people around.
Exactly.
And I can only imagine what it's like to be parking on campus at the moment. Probably muy no bueno.
No, absolutely not. And my thing about parking on campus is we're at week 1. I started off on Sunday with a clean slate. 0 citations, 0 dues that I had to pay to parking services. It's Friday. Today's Friday, September 1st, 2017.
Are you now at 7 in 5 days?
I am at 3 citations.
Okay, so I mean, 60%.
It's not terrible, but the thing that just ticks me off about these citations, though, is just I know I'm wrong, and I know I probably shouldn't park in the places where I park, but I'm not going to admit that, and I'm angry at myself. But I put that anger also on the parking services people.
Well, let me just park on this curb here.
Yeah.
This is unreasonable. I mean, there's only people walking here.
I mean, the point I'm trying to make is, cut me a break.
No, I understand where you might be coming from with that. So, I mean, that's just nature of driving a car, I guess.
Have you been paying?
Thanks for you.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. I needed that. So, motivation boost. Have you been paying attention to parking services on Twitter though?
Have not.
It's
amazing. I've been swiping the notifications.
Oh yes. You're not on social media because you're a grandfather.
Yes,
No, it's amazing because people will, just berate them on Twitter. Like, hey, you suck. Honestly, that's
I don't like
that's
you.
about the gist of it. I got a $300 ticket.
Yeah, I believe
you're mean.
I think their Google ratings is -1 star at the moment.
Exactly. But I feel bad for them, kind of. But also, like, stop giving me tickets. I don't care about the other people. Just stop giving me tickets.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just get you a little Michael Cantu parking pass, and you'll be able to park on the lawns. You'll be able to park on.
Do you know who I know? Do you know who I know?
Oh man,
I know the president of the university.
We'll get you a parking spot in front of the administrative services building. How about that?
I'll take the president's parking spot. He'll let me.
Lawrence.
Good old Lawrence Skubinek.
Of course.
But on the topic of parking services, this week, I believe,
they hosted their annual abandoned bicycle sale. It's pronounced bicycle.
Bicycle.
It's pronounced bicycle.
That's precious.
I would not use the word precious. I mean, it's a cycle, and I believe bi is pronounced bicycle.
But this reminds me of, like, when I was a freshman, though, before one of my math classes, when I had to take a math class, and that was hell in and of itself, I would sit in front of the math building, and one day I was sitting there, and it was, like, mid-September or early August, something like that, and there was a bunch of bikes that were just kind of chained to the little fence area that's right before you get there, and they pulled up in the truck, I don't even think it was parking service. I think it was just like Texas Tech people, and
they were just guys.
Yeah, they were just
Lubbock folk, just coming to take the bikes away from the children.
They had these big scissors, and they just started cutting all the locks off, and just like putting the bikes like in the back of the truck. And I was like, this is probably not like in all the senses legal.
I agree with you. I guess this falls into the category of how do you know when something's abandoned? Because I have definitely seen a few of my friends riding around their bikes. They just they look like they might be abandoned.
No, yeah,
but they clearly are not. And there might be a few students out there that just lost their bike.
Yeah,
but
nobody's looked at this bike for 5 minutes. I guess it's ours now.
Exactly.
But the thing also is like what kind of heartless person just goes around and just starts taking... You have to imagine, like, the kids who come out of class and just...
You see their bike gone.
Exactly.
No,
and they have literally... Say they were a freshman also. They have no idea what happened to the poor thing. Like, it has gone to bike heaven. It's on the big old road in the sky. The bike's with the Lord.
I guess so. I mean, unless someone buys it.
For $40? For $40.
Yeah. I'm wondering if some of these bikes are honestly worth $40. I'm not trying to put down the value of these abandoned bikes, but I mean,
honestly,
have you seen some of them?
Yeah,
they look in worser for wear shape. They look pretty rough.
My favorite kind of bicycles are those like vintage bicycles where it just like looks like 1964. With like the white wall tires and some like pastel color. Yeah, with
handlebars.
Yeah. It looks ridiculous, but it's precious AF. That's what the kids are saying.
Okay, neat. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good opportunity for anybody that doesn't have their mode of transportation.
Or if you just want to buy your bike back, I guess, also.
Or that, I mean, I don't even leave my bike out, like, at all, really. I mean, just kind of out of fear for this exact thing happening.
Well, the thing
I don't want my $1,000 bicycle that I clearly spent way too much money on being hauled away by parking services because they think it's abandoned. Like, oh, look at this shiny red bicycle. I guess it's abandoned.
This is mine now. So let me ask you something about that, though. Do you text and bike?
I do not text and bike.
Oh, wow. Look at
I mean,
I Mother Teresa in the studio
I
today.
can text and bike.
Okay.
I know that is also an ability thing.
Uh-huh.
I can do the no hands thing, but I do not because I've done that before.
And how did it end for you? I'm curious.
Well, the phone was no longer in my hands at the end of this story, and it was not the best experience for it, I will say. But
maybe you just don't know how to ride a bike. I
will say this: I do text and longboard. I don't know if that's as bad, but I'm not exactly going 60 miles an hour in a vehicular death machine.
I don't know how I feel about you longboarding, honestly. I think
at all?
I think, yeah.
Oh,
all the people I've met. And like, at the end of, like, the first conversation with people, my thought is, who the hell are you, and why are you talking to me? And then, like, they leave the building, and they ride on their longboard as they're leaving.
And it all makes sense to you?
So, like, oh, plebeian.
I mean, maybe.
No, that's a for sure thing. Scientists proven it.
I mean, it's just really convenient. You don't have to lock it up. Just walk into class with it.
Why not just a skateboard, though?
It's kind of, I mean...
Are you not cool enough for that?
The wheels are too small on the skateboard.
I
could get the skateboard and put the cruiser wheels on it, but that just seems, unnecessary. Because if you have the skateboard with the small wheels, let me tell you, our sidewalks are terrible here at Tech, and you don't realize it until you're rolling on wheels.
Well,
small wheels.
I've had good luck on the sidewalks. With my feet.
With your feet?
With my feet.
Yeah, those are not wheels. They don't spin. I don't know what type of feet you're wearing, but yeah, they don't. They're not spinning devices.
The gist of it all is don't leave your bike out, and longboarding's for Satan. Honestly,
I mean, yeah, probably.
The Lord doesn't approve.
He probably doesn't. Those millennials on their long skateboards.
Oh, they're Snapchatting and vying for socialized medicine.
Yeah.
Hating the president.
Disgusting.
How could they?
I know.
He's a nice man.
Criticizing authority? Absolutely.
Why is everybody always so mean to Donald? That's my question. Speaking of the president, guess who I got to meet this week?
The president?
Yeah, actually. Interestingly enough.
Texas Tech University, maybe?
Texas Tech University, which, in my opinion, is a little bit cooler.
I would agree with you. I would rather meet Lawrence.
Not that I have an opinion on President Donald Trump, but I like Lawrence a lot. He's cool. He's cool, and he has this cute little mustache, and
he knows some things about math. I mean, I can get behind that.
He knows a lot of things about math, and this is if you have to go to the Daily Toreador website, and we have on the website we have a slideshow of Dr. Skuvanek. Well, he hosted this week Picnic with the President. Okay. And it was the cutest thing.
This was a long line, I remember that.
Exactly. I went to it, and it was like the line started on that North Plaza, the sub, and it
hung around the edge, I believe.
Yeah.
It was a fairly long line. I didn't know what was going on at the beginning, and I was just like, oh, maybe I should brush up on the Daily Toreador's website and see what's going on. And, yeah, I guess it was a picnic with the president.
Yeah, he was serving hot dogs and hamburgers, and if you go
I cannot get behind that, but
we've gone, I want to mark this right now, we've gone 15 minutes, folks. No, sorry, about 15 minutes into this podcast. And Jericho Rosas has mentioned to us that he is indeed a vegetarian.
I have not explicitly mentioned that. That was you.
No,
that was you. You said it.
No.
I mean,
see, so as is the natural order of things, he has to tell us that he's a vegetarian.
Yeah, that's
everybody give him the attention he needs.
Okay, I will hold for the attention.
Anyways, so I'm talking to. I'm able to speak with them, and you have to go to the website and you have to look at this gallery because look at how happy he is. He's so happy. He has a hot dog in his hand and he's talking to somebody. Just look at that kid. He has the most precious little mustache, and he's wearing.
I will say this: that Texas Tech apron is pretty snazzy.
It really is.
I'm gonna have to. I don't know where he got that, but I'm gonna have to see if I can get one of those for myself. That is a good looking apron there.
I think it would have been more hilarious if he would have been wearing one of those really generic, like, stupid graphic aprons that says, like, Kiss a Cook or there's another one that says something with explicit.
With nudity.
Yeah, where he's wearing a bikini.
Oh, man.
But he was also explaining to me how the beginning of the semester for him is kind of busy because for some reason they schedule a lot of, like, speaking events for him. So, like, all this week and last week, and I think part of the week before that, he's just been going to, like, people's clubs and stuff and, like, acting as a keynote speaker. And he told me, and I quote, sometimes it's really just hard. That's not really my thing,
That is the mark of a man that cannot say no.
Exactly. Like, he told me, like, it's not really my thing to try and be interesting. And I was like, oh, my God, same, actually. So, we're buds. We really are, because we're just, on the spiritual level, we're the same person. I can't do math, but he can.
Yeah, I don't know how someone, honestly, kind of introverted becomes president, but I wanted to be that.
No,
honestly, I mean that much respect to the man.
It's a lot of hard work.
It is a lot of hard work.
Dedication. I mean,
and for someone that doesn't want to talk to people, I mean, that's it's pretty incredible.
Can you tell me about my son's admissions? Actually, how about I not?
Yeah, about that. Johnny got a 2 on his SAT, and that is far below satisfactory.
Yeah. Maybe if you didn't raise a moron, your kid will be great. You know, he has to have that thought like every other day.
I sometimes wonder how intelligent people like him feel about the underfolk.
Yeah, because like you're a very smart PhD holding person, and
beyond that, I mean, an accomplished one at that. like exactly. not one that got all political and stuff. I'm gonna be the president of Texas Tech University. Yeah, no, it was.
He just kind of
he just found his way there.
Yeah, he fell into it.
Because
like he left his office one day. I know. Like, I'll be back, guys, and then
teaching math one day, and they're just like, "Hey, Lawrence, want to be the president?" And you're just like, "Oh, I've never been a president before."
I think I can do that. I'll give him my darndest. He's from Oklahoma.
He's from Oklahoma.
Yeah,
I don't know how I feel about that.
Which I kind of hold against him, but
that is the man's one flaw.
This.
Oh boy, I guess his own self-admitted of not being interesting. Question mark. I find him especially interesting.
No, yeah.
But I mean, you know, that's just.
He's a cutie. He really is. You got to meet him one day.
Oh man.
We'll move on to some Texas news. So, on a serious note, Tropical Storm Harvey has been, just ravaging,
just having its way with
parts of the
Texas
coast. God bless some of the folks who are down there in Port Aransas and Houston and what have you.
Corpus.
Corpus too.
Yeah. I mean, that was a big area affected. I saw this graphic. They overlaid the affected area of Texas, and they would cover most of like the northeastern seaboard. It is a large affected area here in Texas, and I mean, maybe link to that and down below just so you can get a true idea of how bad this storm was. It was pretty bad.
It's very nasty.
Mm-hmm.
And one would hope that a lot of other people would, there's been a lot of people who step in. Lubbock sent some people from the hospitals here.
Texas in general. Really kind of stepped up, even other states.
I passed by and I don't know if it was going there, but it was, I want to say, a ambulance that was somewhere from like the Panhandle, farther, a little bit north of Amarillo. I can't remember the name of the place, but it was an ambulance and like 2 or 3 people like in the front of it, just like driving past me on the highway as I was driving on the interstate as I was driving to school. And my thought was like, I very much think that that these people aren't going to Houston right now, because that would be the proper way right now.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people helping, but there's a few people in particular.
I'm not going to mention names.
Who are?
Maybe his name rhymes with,
Old Yolstein.
Old Osteen.
Yeah, a very prominent pastor, if you want to say that.
Yes.
The San Antonio Express News says that this very prominent pastor who has a gigantic church and also a gigantic mansion.
It's not just any church, it is a mega church.
It's a mega church, because that's what Jesus wants. He wants a mega church and the pastor to have a mega mansion.
Of course.
Yeah.
And a mega yacht.
It's actually in the Bible.
Mega plane. Mega money,
Megatron. He has a Megatron too.
It's in the Lord's name. It's okay.
Anyway, this specific pastor, who shan't be named, says that there's this false narrative around the criticism that he didn't open up his church to all the people affected by the hurricane by the high.
I will say this. Don't remember exactly who said it. It was on a social media platform. But yeah, Twitter does change your mind.
Yeah.
It very much does, and especially when you're a man of great affluence. I mean, it definitely, I think, can sway opinions.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, honestly, I would... If I was in his shoes, I probably would not have thought to open the church.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, I mean... why would you open the church?
Well, see, my thing was also
your giant church to people that need shelter. But
see, the thing about that though is like that's not what Jesus wants. Though.
I'm wondering if this was truly an afterthought, which is more of a matter of was he aware that there was a hurricane going on? And moreover, was he aware that there was going to be a need for, shelter and that sort of stuff? And he did open up the church, to his credit, I believe a few days after.
And a few dollars short.
And, yes. He said it was because there was a flood risk to his megachurch.
Yeah, flood risk. Did you see that there was a video on, I think, Facebook or something? Some guy went to the church and just started, filming all the entrances to all the doors and all the freeways surrounding the church. And it doesn't look like there's a problem here. You can clearly drive here.
Floodplain, the whole city's a floodplain, guy. I mean, I could easily say, well, can't open up my big old building here simply because it is a flood risk. Another argument that's been going around is that this is a house of the Lord, not a shelter. Go to FEMA for that. I am not even kidding. I saw a Facebook video on the good old Facebook with that being the advice given to people.
I mean, it makes sense. Stop being poor. Buy your own megachurch.
Yeah,
stupid.
It's dummies.
Jesus.
Quit going to the church for help. Go to the government.
Idiot. They have all the money. Government has all the money.
They have all the money.
You know where they're getting all this money from? They get all these citations they're giving for texting and driving.
Oh, that is where it's from.
We've come full circle.
I think they might even be taking some of it out of your parking citations. Or do you think that's just going to a big old money pyre in the middle of Urbanowski Park or something?
No, actually, all the money for my parking citations, most of that went to just the one apron that Dr. Skubnik was wearing. Yeah,
that's excellent.
I bought it for him. You're welcome, Dr. Skubnik. I hope you enjoyed it.
That's got to be an expensive apron.
Yeah, that red really accents that mustache. I'm happy.
Louis Vuitton?
Louis Vuitton. No, it's actually from the Ralph Lauren.
No,
Ralph Lauren.
Fancier.
Happy you got to wear my apron that I bought for you. Jesus.
Oh, boy.
Moving on to what?
It's okay, Michael.
No, it's not. Yeah. Stop giving me tickets! That's the thing. Just stop giving me tickets, please. I'm begging you.
Sounds like a very millennial thing. Stop giving me tickets.
I realize I'm in the wrong here, but, you can help. Jesus.
Maybe we should get you your own megachurch, Michael. You get my megachurch.
This is what the Lord would want.
He doesn't want me. And that was another argument, actually. Yeah. That there was it is a house of the Lord and it should not be desecrated with the not well-to-dos, to put it, easily. Yeah. Citing, Hurricane Katrina and the absolutely terrible thing that occurred there. In their I think it was the what is it called? The big old stadium.
Yeah, the Astrodome, right?
Is it the Astrodome? No.
Was it not?
That's not. No,
I thought they put them all there in Houston, too.
I'm not too sure. Oh, I think they. Yeah, Katrina was a big.
Yeah, because we had. There were some people in Houston. There was also some people in Lubbock too. I remember seeing them. They came in.
I think it was a super dome,
something like that.
What's your point
here?
It's a dome of some sort, but what I'm getting at is there was a lot of bad things that were going on. People stealing, people assaulting people.
Okay.
And God forbid.
So it didn't name safety.
So they were citing safety.
Oh. Well, no, that makes complete sense.
Yeah, but I mean. Because at the same time,
what if they go in there and they steal a Bible? Then how will all the people who pay for the
they
Bible?
were stealing from each other, Michael. These were people stealing from each other and looting the other not well-to-dos.
That makes no sense.
That was not 5 years ago. 12 years ago in Katrina. That was another rationale being provided in defense of this.
That makes sense. You got to keep people safe.
Yeah, I mean, you're not.
You got to keep people safe on the
pastor that's supposed to be, guiding these people. Don't steal, guys. That's bad. It's not like that's your, job.
No, it's not.
Not like it's your calling, if you want to call it that. So I mean, kind of falls flat in my opinion. I mean, if you're a pastor, you should be able to handle people stealing and assaulting each other, in my opinion. Probably shouldn't get to that point.
No, I think Joel, though, oops.
We said it, didn't we?
I think this specific pastor, whose name rhymes with Old Joelstein, he looks, I don't think he can take a punch.
That too. He
looks very...
Yeah.
You get one and he's done.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he is on.
Which I'm sure is the way a lot of people feel right now.
Yeah. I don't know. Warranted? Unwarranted?
Speaking of people who don't look like they can take a punch, let's move on to sports. Cliff Kingsbury and his Red Raiders are going to be playing Eastern Washington University this weekend in Jones AT&T Stadium. Hand me that, please. Give me that paper right there.
Oh, the game day guy. The Daily Toreador game day guy. If you haven't
picked it up, go to the latest newspaper stand.
Especially if you don't know how to game day.
Yes.
This will give you your guide to
everything
game day
you need to know about how construction may affect your parking. There's also a nice little column about don't bring tortillas into the stadium. A, because it's a waste of food, and B, because, well, just don't do it.
It makes a mess. Apparently.
You can bring a bottle of water, though, in. No?
Oh, yeah. That's excellent.
Congratulations. You can
more throwing objects for when we lose.
I said it, and
this is going to be a losing season.
Yeah.
For the Texas Tech Red Raiders. I hope they prove me wrong.
I'm not. My hopes aren't that high. The game against Eastern Washington, 3 p.m. Jones AT&T Stadium. You can watch on Fox Sports Southwest. I can't talk about Fox Sports Southwest. You can listen to it at Texas Tech Sports Network. Now, also the thing about that is, I said it on the Daily Toreadors video series as well.
The Matador Express.
I think they're going to lose. I think my prediction was 27-7.
Eastern Washington. Yeah, that's a good team. It might be better than us. We will then be following that up with a game against Arizona State and Houston and Oklahoma State, Kansas. These are good teams. West Virginia, Iowa. There's a win. Yeah, there's one at least. OU.
Do you think this might be Cliff's last season? If he has a bad season, you think it might be the last one?
I think we might win a game.
Well, that's good.
We might win a game. Now, this will not be Cliff's last season because he looks like Ryan Gosling. Apparently, that keeps you around for a minute.
That's Kansas State.
That is the only reason this man still has a job. If he was at any other university, I feel like he'd be out on the streets.
Yeah, I think also, I think the key to having a winning team is to have a coach that just looked like he walked out of a trash can. That is absolutely necessary. You have to have a coach that looks like he's roommate with that little trash can dwelling person on Sesame Street.
Exactly. Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah, yes. Because Mike Leach, he was
exactly.
He looked like he just got out of the bar. Which,
maybe he did. Maybe he didn't.
Not saying he did. Not saying he didn't. You have the coach for OSU, it's 2017, and he has a mullet still.
Oh yeah.
Which
most all. I mean, even the good teams, the real good teams like the Alabamas and stuff. They weren't wearing polos. They probably wouldn't look that great. That's what we need to do. Does Kansas
State have that really old dude still?
Oh, I'm not too sure. I know who you're talking about.
Is he still kicking?
I'm not 100% sure.
If you're from Kansas State, tweet at us.
This is us trying to sports. Man. But it's going to be a rough season for Tech if we don't get it together.
Even if they do get it together, I don't have faith in them. Because also, Tech fans, Tech is like Cowboy fans, in that like
every year, the next year
is a piece of garbage, and we're gonna take it. We're gonna take it this year. No, you're not. You're not gonna take it. The only thing you're gonna take home is a gigantic L.
Yeah,
and possibly some alcohol from the tailgate.
Maybe.
That's about all you'll take home.
Not even from Jones AT&T.
No,
not there.
No, they don't sell it yet.
Yeah, you reckon Raiders Empowered will get us some alcohol in the 18. Was that on their platform?
Nah, it was on one of their I don't remember exactly.
It might have been.
Here's my thing about
we're gonna need it. Yeah, we're gonna need it. It's gonna be a rough year for Tech, football wise. We lost to Arizona State pretty handily last year, if I remember correctly.
What's the other team that they always? It's a meme now. We lost it. Was it Kansas?
No. All of the above.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
Every. Oh, we're gonna win.
Yeah. Well, we'll call it. No, honestly though, tweet at us. If you think we're wrong, tell us. Even though we're not, I'm at Michael Cantu DT. Do you have a Twitter? Are you cool like that?
Not at the moment. No, not a DT Twitter.
Get on it, my guy.
I will have to get on it. Maybe.
Well, tweet at me
after this.
Yell at me.
Yeah,
I'm calling it right now.
Direct any anger towards Michael, please.
Yeah. Email me.
Yeah, about how Shimanek will save Tech's offense.
That's a big guy. He's a gigantic fella.
He is a big guy.
He's frighteningly tall and very just like stacked. Well, at least like from my perspective, like he's very just like lean and cut, and it's just frightening. I saw him once out the other day at an establishment.
We'll just leave it at that. At an establishment, and he is a big guy. According to Michael, I have not met the guy.
Yeah, mind you, I'm only like 5'6", 5'7", so I'm not a big guy at all. But he's a huge fella.
Have you met Jakeem? Little Jakeem?
I've heard of him.
No,
he was there with him.
Oh, he was with him?
Yeah, they were both there.
Okay, excellent.
It was him and a few other people.
Have they ever played together? I don't think they have.
Is he still on the team?
No, he is definitely. He's playing for the Miami Dolphins,
Oh,
Michael.
Jesus Christ, I apologize. No, it was... Oh, God. Oh, my Lord. Okay, we're going to pretend that didn't happen, because he was definitely with just another random African-American person. I'm a terrible human being. That was very wrong of me. I apologize for that one.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, that was... I don't know what you were... I don't know if Jakeem's here right now.
No, yeah, because he went to the team with the NFL.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's in Lubbock at the moment, Mike. That's what I was getting at.
He could still be here.
Maybe, it's possible. Yeah, no, I had the pleasure of being acquainted with him. He's a small fellow.
Really?
Yeah, he's about my size.
Maybe there's hope for me.
Maybe we can support after all.
I'll fail a year and then join the football team now.
Exactly. I mean, you still have all 4 years of eligibility, so you'll only have been...
Ooh, boy.
You'll only have been in college for 7 years? 8 years.
I can do that.
8 years. 8 years, Michael. You will be...
Take out another loan?
No, they'll pay for your school.
Oh, my God.
All you got to do is get hit.
I'm going to do that.
That was a long pause. I could see the...
No, yeah, we're gonna make this happen.
Your brain damage. Excellent.
To wrap this up, though, we'll speak on a serious note. There are many donations needed for the victims of Tropical Storm Harvey. As we already mentioned, Houston's flooded. Part of the Gulf Coast, most of the Gulf Coast is just in shambles right now. A lot of the folks need non-perishable items, cleaning supplies, and what have you. The Daily Toreador, in and of itself, is hosting like a donation drop-off here at the at our newspaper headquarters, I guess you're gonna call that. It only goes from 1 p.m. to Friday. However, if you do go on the website, we do have lists of other things that you can also donate through. We're teaming up with Kasner on this one. It really helps out a lot of folks. Like you see these headlines in the news, it's awful, and you really can't imagine what it is that some of these people are going through. Go to the website, find some place to donate. These people really need our help, and we really need your help. So, we'll just make sure that you do that for us, and then kind of have those people's in your thoughts, because I honestly couldn't imagine. How are your folks? Anybody you know affected by that?
No.
Was the valley relatively?
The valley was relatively untouched by this hurricane, but
that's good. Maybe they can donate to him.
And maybe they can. I think they actually might be donating some stuff.
Good.
But yeah, if you want to drop any of that stuff off, the room is MCOM 180. So I believe there's a box out there. Correct?
Yeah, we have a few boxes out there.
So
you can come in through 1 p.m. on Friday. I think we might extend it a little bit. This might go up a little bit past that, but that's okay. Like I said, we have some things on our website that we can also direct you to. The Red Cross is needing some help. United Blood Services needs some help. And if you can just send care packages that way, that's great. That's fantastic. Go help those people. Anyways, we'll see you next week. Week in Review. I'm Michael Cantu.
Jericho Rosas.
That's it. That's all.
We're done.
Hope you had a ball.